It felt like Lowe hadn't hit a home run in a long time. The other part of this, Tim Kurkjian and Mark Teixeira, that we thought going into this were the Dodgers, they don't chase. And they're going to force Snell into throwing a ton of pitches, and he's going to be out of the zone, and he's going to be out of the game. He got out of the game, but it wasn't until he inflicted damage on the Dodgers.
Well, what Blake Snell did tonight, he lived on the corners. And sometimes he got the strikes, sometimes they called balls. But as you said, Karl, the Dodgers are not going to chase. So what he did, he threw 88 pitches in 4 2/3. His curveball slider was the pitch that was working for him. He was throwing strikes with his fastball and then finishing off these Dodger hitters with curveballs and sliders. And Timmy, when you look at some of the spots that he hit, you realize why he had a good night.
Absolutely. And for the first 4 innings, he allowed no hits and struck out 8. Sandy Koufax, 1963, is the only other pitcher to do that in a World Series game. And you're right, Tex, he had 5 strikeouts on the slider, 3 on the curveball. And when he could throw 95 and have 2 breaking balls like that, that's why he won the Cy Young 2 years ago. And that's why they always have a chance when he pitches.
Take a look at some of the pitches that Snell was throwing. You go StatCast 3D. Tex talked about it. The sliders were unbelievable. There were 5 of them that he struck guys out on. Curveball 3, fastball 1. Look, the story after game 1, guys, was Mookie Betts. I mean, he carried the team. In this game, Mookie Betts went 0 for 3. Brandon Lowe had the 2 home runs. As Lowe goes, maybe the Rays go. Can you say the same thing about the Dodgers with Betts?
Absolutely. You know, all day yesterday after the game, we're like, how are the Rays going to score runs against this deep Dodger pitching staff? And we said, well, you know what? Brandon Lowe has to show up. Well, in game 2, he showed up, and he saw why he was the Rays' best hitter last year. And for most of this season, until Randy Arozarena came onto the scene, he was their best hitter this year. This is a guy, when you hit 2 opposite field home runs against quality pitching, that's impressive.
Right, and again, this is why Kevin Cash is so good at what he does. This guy was 6 for 56 in the postseason with 1 extra base hit. And not only did he not take him out of the lineup, he didn't even drop him in the lineup. He worked all in BP about keeping the ball up the middle and hit 2 opposite field homers, and he didn't hit an opposite field homer all year. This is why the Rays win. And let's not forget, he was an MVP candidate for the first month and a half this year. Then he took a tumble and has really tumbled in October, but has gotten back up.
For the viewer at home, we make a big deal out of opposite field home runs. Why do we make a big deal? What's so special about it? What does it mean when you guys are all focused on, well, he went oppo twice?
Well, because you have much less power that way. I mean, your power is dropping the head, driving that ball to right center, right field as a left-hand hitter. When you let that ball get deep and still have enough power, you're not getting fully extended. You're hitting the ball back here and still have enough to get it out to the oppo.
Right.
Pretty good.
You know, it's fascinating, and you can comment on this. We've seen the managers, think about the ones recently that have won World Series, whether it be Hinch or Cora or whatnot. Kevin Cash, we have 5 games left, maybe. Whatever you think about him, he got blinders on, because this idea about, do we move Lowe down? Do we take Morton out when he's been so... We got a plan, and we're going with it.
Right. He's totally fearless, which you have to be as a manager today with the way we cover the sport, the way Twitter attacks every single manager in the postseason, and he could care less what Tex thinks or you or me thinks. Right. He's going to do it the way that it works, and it's worked very well, especially with his bullpen. They did not lose a game this year that they led after 7 innings, so he runs that stable of 97 guys in, and it works.
The other part of this for the Rays, when you look at the guys that were used, Castillo came in late. Aaron Loup was really good in this game, and you don't usually think about Aaron Loup the way you do Fairbanks or Castillo or Anderson.
Yep, and I've always said if you're going to win a World Series, you need to use your entire roster. And if there's one team that is set up to use their entire roster and win games, it's the Rays.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.